We're here in Kassel at the third workshop of the Forces and Forms of Change in Doctoral Education around the world, worldwide network.
What is going on really around the world? Renewed attention has been paid to doctoral education as a source of innovation, because one of the purposes with this network is there is too many problems in the world and we cannot afford to compete. We need to collaborate to solve them.
Return to their own home. So I'm very impressed that this kind of diversity.
Diversity is an acknowledgement of difference. And difference is always relational.
We're starting to get a critical mass, a pool of students who are getting the PhD, but we find out they're not being employed. And the critical point about this is that they're getting PhDs at the top 50 doctoral institutions in the US.
If we have to build a knowledge-based society, we have to irrigate the society with people trained through research, coming with a research culture to try to push our society further.
Well, as we are on our way towards creating a knowledge-based economy, it's pretty clear that research training will be more important in the future, particularly for the young generation, so that you combine highly specialized research on the one hand with capacity building in various other aspects on the other, and that you really try to set up a kind of coursework for the doctoral students in order to, in the end, maybe help them to become stewards of their discipline as well as future leaders in various parts of society.
So this symbol stands for what we call the Task Force 1, and Task Force 1 is dealing with internationalization and inequality in doctoral education. It's presenting a glass of champagne, but it stands for the unequal distribution of resources around the globe, where 95% of the resources are being used by just 5% of the world's population, and the same holds true for knowledge resources.
If knowledge continues to be unequally distributed, the world is in for even graver problems than it has now. You have touched upon the importance of equity, the two-way flow of knowledge, and of course the challenges for quality and relevance.
The second task force dealt with diversity of student in doctoral education in an international perspective. And the symbol is two Siamese crocodiles who are actually together, and the symbol is this is unity in diversity.
The first principle is diversity, because we are convinced that each institution, each country could try to reach these goals by different routes. And it's these different routes that we have to experiment by backing each other.
The third task force embarked on a very risky topic, and essentially it was dealing with promoting intellectual risk-taking under conditions of globalization. And what could be more suitable to illustrate that than a tightrope walker? What does the tightrope walker stand for? It stands for a balance between innovation and security, and this was essentially the topic of that task force.
Risk-taking is a mandatory prerequisite for transformatory science. The point we really want with our students, it's a kind of an intellectual attitude. We want to train them to develop an attitude which is, you might actually refer to as thinking outside the box, as you have said. I really like that term. I wrote it down by myself beforehand, because that's what we want. We want students to be probing and inquisitive. We want them to have a creative mind. We want them to challenge authority beliefs. And that requires a system which is open and encourages students.
Each and every country has to be brutally honest with itself and say, do we want to really serve societal needs through well-trained, well-educated doctoral level students? And if the answer is yes, if we want to serve societal needs, which are very vast and very comprehensive, and includes the generation of new knowledge, but also includes the application and dissemination of that knowledge, then I think we cannot adhere to the old model.
What could you potentially do tomorrow at your home institutions or in your home countries to say, hey, we really need change. That's important to us as people in these spaces of changing graduate education.
But I'd like to finish by just saying this is a remarkable moment for academia to reposition itself, to get right into the debate on development. We're going to have a different world. We hope we're going to have a different world. Maybe out of the disaster something better will emerge. And the best people, amongst the best people, to take a leading role is definitely the highly trained intellectual capital that you find in the university and research communities. And I think that this is the moment where they must respond to that challenge wholeheartedly. Thank you very much.